Hi guys, this is the part 2 of this revelation. If you've not watched the part 1, you may need to watch it before this. This is where Peter talks about the Efcc issue and tells the whole truth. This truth is shocking. This truth is sad because the betrayal is deep. He says, I never attempted or tried to use the Efcc to arrest my twin brother Paul. Before I tell you the whole story, here is what I need you all to understand. It's always surprising to me when people say Psquare is always bringing their family matter into the public eye. Let me clarify this. Psquare is not just a family, it's a public brand. But Peter, Paul, Jude, Anita, Ifeoma, Lola, and the rest of our family members are family. But Psquare is an entity that belongs to the public as much as it does belong to us. Our fans have played a significant role in our success, so they have the right to know what's happening between their beloved brand Psquare. That's why it's understandable why certain aspects of our lives are shared publicly. Now let's get straight to the point. I want to make it clear that I have never reported my twin brother Paul to the Efcc. I know many of you were disappointed when Paul accused me of doing so. He mentioned I wrote a petition against him, which he claimed made the Efcc to ask him to provide a surety. The statement suggested that he was detained, which is not true. Peter, Paul, and Jude owned a management company together called Northside Entertainment, which we used to manage all the Psquare affairs. One day, I discovered another company with a similar name, but this one was called Northside Music instead of Northside Entertainment. This surprised me, so I decided to investigate further. And guess what? To my shock, the founders and directors of the secret company were none other than Jude Okoye and his wife Ifeoma Okoye. And the registered address was the family house of Jude's wife. Still in shock, I knew I had to talk to Paul about this. I approached him multiple times, at least 4 times, asking him if he knew anything about this event and secret company and the whereabouts of some of Psquare's royalties. Each time I met him, he denied knowing anything about it. I want to set the record straight. I hereby challenge Paul or anyone else to show any petition that I, Peter Okoye, ever submitted against my twin brother Paul. I am still writing this with so much shock because I gave clear instructions to my legal team with a standing order that under no circumstance should Paul be included in my petition. Their focus was to remain solely on the primary suspects, Jude Okoye and his wife Ifeoma Okoye, since they were the directors of this secret company, Northside Music. Paul's recent interview about the Efcc incident contains a lot of lies. I watched and listened to Paul's interview. I was totally speechless, and I kept asking myself, how does Paul have the audacity to publicly tell lies like this, even with a respected and reputable agency like the Efcc? He claimed I petitioned him, but that's not something that ever happened to Paul. The truth is, this was something that's actually happened to Jude. The real story goes back to the shocking recovery I made. But what really got me upset was finding out that for years, millions of dollars and thousands of millions of naira were being secretly diverted into the secret company accounts, Northside Music, away from our own accounts. I understand that Paul is angry because I took this matter to the Efcc, and I understand why. However, bearing in mind that I have met Paul and Jude separately and tried to discuss this matter, and it yielded me with no positive answer. In fact, the last time I approached Paul, the conversation got heated up and he said, and I quote, "Peter, go and do your worst." At this stage, I was left with no other choice but to report to the authorities and take legal options. Jude was then detained after being questioned. He came clean and admitted that he has been diverting millions of dollars of our money to the secret company that he and his wife were the directors of. All of Jude's bank accounts were immediately frozen. He was eventually released on bail after he managed to provide a surety and met the other bail conditions. Meanwhile, further investigations are still going on up until now. Paul's name was never mentioned in the petition because he was never a director of this secret company, unless there is something he's hiding from all of us. Paul was only invited for questioning, just like Jason and Joko of Iroko TV, Amaju Pinnick, and others who had transactional dealings with Northside Music. Are you seeing? Paul came out to say that his brother petitioned him to Efcc, whereas this was not the case. From all indication, he only was invited by association. Peter did not invite him, but when Efcc were making their investigations, they felt the need on their own to invite Paul, not his brother petitioning him. But this is not the story he told us. This is not the interview he did. I watched that interview myself, and it's so heartbreaking that you come out and you lie about your own twin brother. These royalty money were sent to a bureau de change, then transferred to Jude's personal account. A closer look at Jude's account statements revealed that once the money enters his personal account, there were multiple transactions where he was splitting the funds equally with Paul without Peter. This naturally led to some questions. You see, they saw where Jude was sending money to Paul. When EFCC were reviewing the accounts of Jude, they saw him sending money to Paul, and he did not send to Peter. So they had to call Peter to also explain himself. After Jude confessed to diverting the funds, he also told the EFCC that the money he has been sending to Paul for several years wasn't about sharing money behind Peter's back. Instead, it was money he owed Paul from the state of their house in America, from the sale of their house in America, which he was gradually paying back the loan. This is the reason why Paul has been telling everyone that the EFCC has cleared him, as if I ever wanted him to get into trouble with the EFCC. The story is very long. I will tell it all in due time. For now, I will stop here until the EFCC sends the final report to my legal team. Once that happens, before heading to the law courts, I will make the exact petition that doesn't include Paul's name public. I will also release the EFCC final reports, receipts, and other documents related to the secret company, including the CAC registration, bank transactions, and bank statements that Jude set up with his wife, Ifeoma Okoye. God help us all. From this, what can you say? It's so surprising. I really had respect for Ifeoma Okoye, but you don't know, her husband might have had a lot of influence on her. I can't say much. We will wait until the EFCC report is made public, then we can speak. But people have always said, you as the elder brother is supposed to be the one bringing your brothers together. But seems like he was the issue all along. Well, again, this is the part 2. I'll still be sharing more videos and updates on this. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment on this video. Thank you for watching.